after so many cup heroics. Everton make changes at fullback. Alan Harper and Gary Stevens are fit to return, but John Bailey is out with a knee injury. Up front, David Johnson deputises for Andy Gray, who is cup-tied, but there's no place for Andy King or Trevor Stephen, and injury still rules out Mark Higgins and Terry Curran. But again, a lovely atmosphere inside the Manor Ground, excited faces all around, and on a night like this, any view is a good view, even if you have to stand in somebody's back garden. John Hunting of Leicester gets the match going. Everton in the blue shirts and white shorts are playing from the right, and that means that Oxford in the first half will be attacking down the slope, which they love to do, to put their opponents under early stress. All tickets sold, and Oxford wondering, can they put a fourth fashionable club out of this competition? Kevin Brock is number 11. But it's interesting already, Alan Harper has gone to play at right back despite the 3, and Gary Stevens has gone to left back for Everton, presumably to try and counter the threat of George Lawrence. Sharp, Irvine, skipping round McDonald, and into Reed, and it ran on, and Hinshaw was in trouble, and Irvine shot, and the crowd behind that goal, so closely packed, came tumbling down the terrace. As Reed fed the ball in, there was trouble for Hinshelwood, and Irvine had the shot over the bar. Peter Reed setting up the play. Over the years, and they've been lean years since 1970, Everton have always had a very loyal away support, and they've come down here tonight. All the tickets sent to Goodison were taken, and they're hopeful that their famous club might reach the semi-finals. Their best they've done in this competition, the final in 1977, when they lost to Aston Villa after 3 matches. And the flick-on almost worked, and Southall had to come because Briggs, coming in late, got behind the defence. It's a typical Oxford ploy, and the First Division teams shake when they get pushed into that position. The near post corner a possibility again here. McDonald at number 3, a man who can always pounce on the flick. And Southall away from Diggins, good goalkeeping. Johnson, Heath, well run by Peter Reed, and he's got Sheedy in here on the left foot, saved by Hardwick, and it fell conveniently to Hebbard, but has he overrun it? Not quite, and he takes a nasty challenge from Alan Irvine on the edge of the area, and that could be an injury for Hebbard. Irvine was late with the foot there was no doubt about that. He'll be spoken to by the referee. In my view, it was a late challenge. But it was a good move, actually. Sheedy, on his left foot, had a chance. The goalkeeper came, blocked it, it fell to Hebbard, and now watch the challenge here by number 7, Irvine, for which he's being booked while you're watching this. He went in when the ball had gone. And it looks like bad news for Trevor Hebbard, the stretcher being brought on. The substitute is Neil Watmore, if needed. And Jim Smith gone across there to make the decision himself, and there doesn't seem any doubt about what it is. Hebbard is out of this cup tie, the victim of a late challenge, and Oxford United forced to make the substitution after 20 minutes. The man coming on, Neil Watmore, has a pedigree in the cup against Everton. He scored in the semi-final of this competition for Bolton Wanderers against them in 1977, but he wouldn't have wanted to come on in these circumstances. Vinter goes up for Oxford to find Biggins. A back flick, Vinter. Good blocking by the two defenders. and forward again by McDonald to Watmore. Oh, headed back again by Watmore, and a chance for McDonald to backheel it, and Lawrence, and the goalkeeper's there somehow, some way, as George Lawrence almost scrambles in a typical goal. Would have been his 12th of the season, and many of the others have been like this. Corner again, the goalkeeper stayed at home this time, headed back in by Watmore, McDonald's back heel, Lawrence in the scramble, good keeping by Southall in the end. Here's Irvine. Round McDonald. He's certainly the man to beat. He's got round him again. Nice cross to Heath with the back flick. Sharp is there, so is Johnson. Bit of a tangle, and the break could be on for Biggins to find Vinter. He shook off his marker Mountfield. Biggins is making ground in the centre. Watmore's also trying to get there, and they're coming in from midfield. And Vinter's cross and Biggins on the near post forces a corner at the end of the first half. And again, McDonald with the flick, and Lawrence, saved by the goalkeeper's feet. Amazing save by Neville Southall. And goalkeepers make their own luck, and that was a fine stop. It'll give in a corner again on the far side. It isn't over yet. George Lawrence who had the shot. And Biggins and Southall's there again. Not cleared by Irvine. This is Train. And Brock. And in they go again, Biggins and Lawrence. It's like an assault course now in that penalty area. Briggs. Free kick. Everton defending just for a moment with desperation. The goalkeeper saved them. Brock to take the free kick. Well, they're appealing for handball in there now, or Oxford. It doesn't matter because the referee has brought an exciting first half to a close. Oxford had far more of the game, but Neville Southall outstanding in goal as Everton showed resolution on a ground where no visiting team has prevented Oxford from scoring this season. But look what happened there as Southall saved with his feet to stop George Lawrence doing just that. Half-time, Oxford, who had to reorganise when Heaven was carried off, 0. First Division Everton, 0. Fantastic backing for Oxford from the crowd. Flags up. Harper it was who tangled there with Vinter, and Oxford can still keep pressing. It's Brock with the kick. Oh, and McDonald! 1-0 to Oxford, and Bobby McDonald is there again. The men at the back made it. Briggs coming in with Biggins, but McDonald got the foot in from Kevin Brock's free kick. The ball played to the far post. In come Briggs and Biggins. McDonald is there, left foot, and in it goes. 67 minutes. Oxford United, after a spell of ceaseless pressure, take the lead. Johnson off. Kevin Richardson on. Just look at that crowd. They're wondering now, are Everton going to go the same way as Newcastle, Leeds and Manchester United? Well, a mistake has put Adrian Heath in, and he scored. Everton are back in it, given away by Kevin Brock. A terrible mistake just when his team was so far on top. Kevin Brock, number 11, went for a back pass and Heath came in on the blind side. Round the keeper, an easy finish for him. And Everton are alive again. It came with 8 minutes to go.
Adrian Heath.
It was only the second chance Everton have had, and it was presented to them by Kevin Brock, who made the Oxford goal. He was under a little bit of challenge. He looked up at first, tried to get it back to the keeper, and look who's there. Adrian Heath finishing well. What more? Ooh, the ball was on through the middle, but well played, Mountfield, having a good match at centre-half. Volleyed forward by McDonald. Biggins is under it. Vinter. Brock. Can he make up for it yet? It's Brock's cross towards Lawrence, who can still retrieve it and turn it back in. Biggins. Oh, it just dropped away from the post. Lawrence holds his head because it was a good return ball from him. Biggins, the player with the header, number 8. Vinter couldn't get a touch, and the ball dropped wide. This is Reed. And now it's Irvin. Volleyed away by Shot. Even the trainer, Ken Fish, there off the bench to try and give Oxford the ball quickly to surge forward, perhaps for the last time. We're in stoppage time now. McDonald's given the ball away to Heath, and there's the whistle, and it's Everton who are the happier side. They came back from Bobby McDonald's goal to equalise 8 minutes from the end. A mistake by Brock. Adrian Heath pounced. And the teams go back to Goodison Park next Tuesday, although one ought to say that Oxford went to Old Trafford and drew there and had a third match, so the dream may not be over.